A was awoken by the shivers that shook B's naked body lying in bed beside her, covered by the thin, dirty blanket she had wrapped around herself. She coughed, and when her warm breath became white fog in the freezing air, A trembled. She realized that they had not paid the gas bill in time. She spread the blanket over B, got dressed, and rubbed her hands together in order to heat herself up again. When A went over into the kitchen, she realized that there was no food for breakfast to be found in the cupboards. The only thing that was left was a little baggie that lay on the small white table. A sank down in the chair beside it with a sigh, filled up a small glass pipe with the contents of the plastic bag, and got out her phone. She turned it on, and while she watched the arrow chasing its own tail on the black touchscreen, she took deep, long hits from the pipe. When the machine had finally rebooted, the blinking colors on its screen gave her a headache. But she opened her mail inbox anyways and tried to concentrate on the small black letters. She began to read a mail from her landlord labeled "Final Notice." But when she began to threaten them with eviction again, she quickly switched to the next mail. Among the many bills and admonitions, she found a mail from C, who called himself her manager and acting coach, and her heart began to beat fast with excitement when she read, "Job offer." Once she had read the short text, she was not quite as excited anymore. And when she thought back to the last job C had found for her, it had included a camera and nudity and A tried to stop the unpleasant memories that began to bubble up in front of her inner eye by taking another deep toke from her pipe. When she looked over at B, who was still shivering in the cold of their tiny apartment, A told herself, "You don't have a choice, do you?" She walked over to him, kissed him on the forehead, and mumbled, "I'm doing this for us." Then she looked up the address from the mail on her touchscreen and hasted out the door. A got into the subway, and while the train rushed through seemingly endless tunnels, she tried to put on some makeup. She blew her reflection in the dark window beside her a kiss and tried to muster up a friendly smile when the train entered her station. A followed the directions on her phone to a nearby warehouse and was just about to call C when she noticed him standing in front of a side entrance. He walked up to her, gave her a few fast kisses on the cheeks, and then said, "Good, you're here, just in time. They were waiting inside." He told her to follow him, and as they walked up a staircase, C explained, "So, it's this porno movie, but it's different, okay? It's really upscale and high-tech." It's this startup of filmmakers that work together with these engineers who produce content for these virtual reality headsets. You know. A had slowed down, but before she could turn around on her heels, C grabbed her arm and said, "Come on, I know you need the money. And as I said, it's really classy and clean and..." He dragged her through a door into a large white room, and they were greeted by a tall woman dressed in leather that was holding some sort of helmet in one arm. She extended her other hand and introduced herself as D. "You must be our star for today. You might get your 15 minutes of fame today, baby, if you play your cards right." She gave her a friendly smile, and A calmed down a little. D handed her the helmet and asked, "Have you ever used one of these? They're great, you should try it out." She waved a young man at the other end of the room over with the words, "E, come over here. Can we run a little demonstration on this headset?" E got out a large touchscreen device and began to type commands into it as he walked over to them. Without looking up, he said, "Dee, can you place the headset on her head so that the screen is right in front of her eyes?" Dee guided A's hands, that were still clenching the shiny helmet, up and put it on her head. She gave her another winning smile and dropped the headset, which suddenly blocked A's view with a dark screen and left her in complete darkness for a few seconds.